regenerative farming. Just waiting here for Angus. It is a holistic way of growing food that focuses on repairing and improving the land. And I think that is Angus arriving right there.
Testing the Mitsubishi's brakes.
I'm with my friend, Farmer Angus.
I am a farmer. I'm a regenerative farmer. 20 years ago, I lived in London. I was a stockbroker for Goldman Sachs. I've had a very interesting 180-degree travel from my belief system when I was at Goldman Sachs to now. We use animals as part of our regenerative program. So this whole idea that cow farts are killing the world is total rubbish. Animals rejuvenate and regenerate. And just one macro point I want to make is I've banned the word sustainability on the farm. So the reason I banned it is because I don't believe there's anything, anywhere in the world we want to sustain today. Nothing we want to sustain. Everything has got to be made better. Jeremy, you chose a beautiful afternoon to come here. I've just prepared these fields for some rooibos. Come and have a look here. Climb up here. These are chicken feathers. Am I good to go?
Yeah.
These are chicken feathers from a free-range abattoir. In South Africa and the rest of the world, 85% of chicken feathers become feather meal, which is fed back to chickens. What we do with it is we mulch in our vineyards. So those are young vines. Old vines we gave last year. So if you look here, this is last year's feathers that are broken up. Okay? Now, unfortunately, on camera, you can't smell anything, okay? But this is beautiful, rich earth. That is from chicken feathers breaking down. So in Europe and in the US, you're not allowed to use any animal waste for anything, okay? And then these are the fresh feathers that we've put around the baby plant. There's a farmer I know in the Eastern Cape who gets 2 lemon harvests every year. The question was, what the hell does he do? How does he do that? He mulches his orchards with sheep's wool. So accordingly, he was getting this unbelievable fertility from sheep's wool. And I tried to find sheep's wool, couldn't find it. Then these Kenyan farmers, these Maasai farmers came here and said, why are you stuffing around with sheep's wool? Just get chicken feathers. So we're 5 years into using chicken feathers in our vineyards.
Why do you have...
Italian, because I'm trying to learn Italian. I used to have Russian, but it's a Russian, I don't have the time to learn Russian. So now I'm trying to learn Italian.
Why?
Because Zulu was the first language that I spoke, and I can do well with languages, and Italians, I want to speak Italian. This is what you need to focus on. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. This is exhibit 1 in the human beings are committing species-wide suicide scenario.
Tell me more.
Look at it. It's the global use of pesticides over the last 30 years, okay? If you had your child's placenta analyzed, you'd find 162 artificial chemicals in there. Breast milk's got 280 or something in it. Breast milk's God's purest creation, and it's contaminated. Where's the water, Mangalani?
There where the tractor is.
Okay, and the wagons, the salt wagons there, I want to show my friend. Okay. Mangalani, this is my friend Germ. Can I tell you there are a lot of fat cattle in here, eh? Please send me a WhatsApp quickly now to say slaughter. Because even some of these oxen are starting to look really fat. Eh? How's life? I'm just going to look for something here. Okay, this is interesting. You see, these are nodules. Okay, these nodules are filled with rhizobacteria. So this is a plant, it's called a lupin. It's a legume. See, I'm breaking off. See these guys. Okay, these pink nodules. This is a brilliant sign. What it means is that this plant is fixing nitrogen. So nitrogen is the most available thing in the sky. The sky is like 70% nitrogen, very little oxygen. So in a regenerative system, you want as many legumes as possible, but they don't necessarily, so the fact that we've got the legumes and that they're nodulating is amazing. So what happens is a thing called a rhizobacteria lives in the roots, that's that pink thing. And they then pull the nitrogen out of the atmosphere and make it available for themselves and for the other plants in the area. That is a very, that's Germ, thank you for being here, buddy. That makes me so happy to see. Okay, Germ, come and listen here, buddy. Okay, so what percentage of antibiotics do you think go to animals?
I know the answer.
Okay.
It's about 80 to 90%.
90% of antibiotics go to animals and only 10% to humans. And why is that? Because animal agriculture has ordained that, or humans have ordained that animal agriculture should be done in their toilets. That's what they are. They're in their toilets. So that's why you're giving antibiotics, because they're sick and challenged. So these animals, I can't say we'll never have an antibiotic, but most of them will never ever have had an injection in their lives. These animals, most of them will never ever get an injection. I think year to date we've injected one, okay? And there's two reasons for it. The first is we move them twice a day, every single day to fresh pasture, okay? And at the same time, we wait 6 weeks before they come back to the same spot. So the parasite cycle's broken. That's reason number one. Reason number two is this thing. Okay, it's called a free choice mineral lick. Works as follows. All soils are deficient, all plants growing in the soil are deficient, all animals eating the plant are deficient. Deficiency manifests as disease. These animals, they have the intelligence to know what they're missing, so they come in here, they push up with their noses, and then they'll self-medicate. Okay?
What is this? Like minerals and
A
salts?
whole range of different minerals. Okay?
And they lift it up on their own?
They push up their noses. This is for example, half diatomaceous earth. This is a Pat Colby, Australian vet, dolomitic lime, copper sulfate, sulfur dust. So the principle, Germ, is 30% of what they take in fixes the internal imbalance. The rest comes out the back end biologically available.
And that goes back into the soil?
In a biological form. That's key, because it's been through a human process.
No chemicals?
That's why it's so good to pee on your plants, Germ.
Really?
You're giving them biological nutrients.
Angus, what sort of beef is this?
So these are, the smaller ones are Limousine Simmentaler crosses. This guy is a Limousine Red Angus cross. So you can see he's very muscled, okay? But if you look at his back, he's almost got this line, looks like a hamstring line. He's not fat yet. Okay, so he'll slaughter as this magnificent carcass. But beef, you need fat. Fat's where the flavor is. Okay? So these things are hopelessly too small.
Are you aware that you've lost all vegan audience right now?
What I can tell you is last week, my staff got paid out 650,000 Rand in carbon credits.
What's that in dollars?
I think it's, they got the same, I got the same, 1.3 million Rand in total payout. So it's maybe $80,000, something like that. $85,000, I'm not sure what the exchange rate is, 90,000, whatever. Maybe it's a bit less, cheap as my maths is appalling. What is the exchange rate?
And you were at Goldman Sachs?
20 years ago, buddy. So the point is that we would never have been paid those carbon credits if we hadn't increased the carbon in the soils. And how do we do it? Through animals. Whereas on the vegan way, you can't increase the carbon. You can only burn it up because you have to use artificial fertilizers. So Germ, purely from a regenerative aspect, veganism is disqualified.
Yes.
looks like a fat, there, it just turned its head.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
There, it's turned its head again.
Yeah.
Owls have chased it out of that ficus there. The crows chased it out. Now the poor owl, it's broad daylight and is traumatized by the crows. Okay, Jim.
So these are free range.
Are you trying to be funny? Free range is consumer fraud. Free range is what you think you're buying when you buy chickens, when you buy eggs. Hello, my honey. Hello, my beautiful. Oh, yes. That is so lekker. That is a back rub. I don't know what lekker, if you UK common people know what lekker means, but lekker is better than nice. I mean, free range is genuinely consumer fraud because with free range, you are expecting to find this, green fields, moving animals, but you're not. Free range, they live in a big barn. There's a tiny little opening on the side of the barn. There's no incentive for them to go out. And ecologically speaking, free range is as bad as caged. Why? Because their manure builds up in one place. Your housing's not mobile. Look at this. The housing's mobile. You saw the cattle move every day. So animals are part of regenerating an ecosystem.
Right.
But the way animals are farmed, it's not regenerating anything because their manure is kept in one place. And then it's a huge problem dealing with it.
So do these chickens move also?
Every single day we move these eggmobiles.
So it helps the grass also?
Of course. This is all naturally grown. Hello, my honeys.
How many chickens have you got here, Angus?
In total on the farm, 6,000 hens, but in this batch, 1,000 hens.
So then obviously this makes the eggs premium.
But they're more nutrient dense than other eggs. We've done amino acid profiling on them.
Yeah.
And the other eggs are dishonestly priced. The cost of the waste of tidying up the waste, that's not in the price. Yes, my sweetheart. If you look here, Jim, okay? If you feel there, that is the totality of her breast. Do you feel how little meat that is?
Yeah.
She's a laying machine. She's not a meat machine. It's like eating a marathon runner versus a sumo wrestler.
But she lays a lot of eggs.
But she's a laying machine. Okay, let's go. Watch this, bro. Moses parting the waters. Moses is called the Mitsubishi Moses.
You've also got pigs, but
Yeah.
we don't have enough time now to go look because the sun's setting. Pigs.
Dude, we haven't even really spoken about wine, and we haven't spoken about rooibos tea either. So I launched a wine brand last year. It took me 15 years to get the wines up to a standard that we were comfortable
was that
to
the
release.
tasting?
One of the things we've done in the vineyard, if you remember that a vine is the plant of Dionysus, just grows down, straight down. What is the opposite of Dionysus? Apollo. So we planted cypresses as the Apollonian tree. So it's the energy up and the energy down, a little bit of balance. Oh, and those mountains, by the way, on the far distance across there is the Royals Mountains. Then that is Helderberg, Stellenbosch Mountain, Franschhoek Mountain, Simonsberg. And if you look carefully, you can just see Table Mountain under the clouds over there. There's Devil's Peak, just sticking out under the cloud.
So you also farm pigs, basically?
Yes. So we are one of 3 people who produce pigs outdoors. You wouldn't believe it with weather like this. Everyone should have their pigs outdoors, but they're all in cages. But we are the only guys who cure without adding nitrites, and phosphates. And Germ, over here, I've got a little packet of goodies for you to take home. Salami sticks for Germ. This is our tagline. Get the real story, know your food. And we're the only guys curing without adding nitrites, and phosphates. So there's some salami sticks for you. That is chorizo.
Oh, I've had that. It's delicious.
Okay.
Actually, it's all delicious.
This is called salumeti. And then here are some frankfurters for you, young man.
Nice.
Or rather for your son.
Yes, he's a growing boy.
He's a growing boy.
Thank you, Angus.
Okay, Jim. The burning question in this country in agriculture is why, since 2010, have 56% of the cattle farmers and 54% of the beef farmers, cattle farmers and grain farmers, gone bust? Because capitalism is a system that the primary producer with sand as lubricant. Okay? It might be a grotesque metaphor, and I can say it again. In the capitalist system, the primary producer is in the worst possible position to be. Okay, so by me spending huge amounts of effort and time and money on a brand, I'm a price maker and not a price taker.
Why though? What's actually going on?
Because, Jerm, they have not been able to increase their prices off the farm gate, but their labor costs have basically doubled, their fuel costs have doubled, and at the same time, the retailers and the feedlots are making millions more. You're a commodity producer.
I'm gonna sit here.
Oh, you're going to sit here.
There we go.
We are a regenerative farm. As I explained to you earlier, I've banned the word sustainability because it's a defeatist belief that everything is okay as it is. In my opinion, everything should be better. On whatever metric we look at, we can only do better. Maybe we could go worse, but why would you want to have, more infertility, more cancer, more plastic in the oceans, more plastic in our bodies,
so
more use of pesticides?
Yeah. It's healthier in the long run. And it's as Catherine Austin Fitz says, this is how you get off the central control grid. You actually become healthier.
Correct.
And you require less of the pharmaceuticals.
Can I tell you what I did on Sunday?
Yeah.
We have a little family tradition where whenever there's a birthday of somebody, they request something. So I already last year for my birthday had requested a 24-hour digital detox. So no one in our family, my 3 kids, my wife and I, looked at a screen for 24 hours.
Gee. Oh, that's why you didn't reply to me.
Jim, I can't tell you how wonderful it was. Time just slows down. Literally slows down. It's incredible. We have no idea how overstimulated we are.
Yeah.
So farmers are attacked. No question. I think 4,000 farmers have been murdered. But black farmers and white farmers are attacked. And the attacks on farmers, I don't believe they've got anything to do with race, but they've everything to do with socioeconomic stuff. So the farmer is perceived to have money, and they're also perceived to have guns and cash on their farms. Okay, so that's why many, many years ago, we said we're a no cash farm. Okay, whereas literally up the road from me, they murdered a guy because he was paying out in cash to steal his cash. So we are a criminal society in South Africa where criminals are not punished. But there's another underlying tone, which is like farmers are white and they kind of deserve it. But what they don't understand is when you kill the farmer, whether it's black or white, you've basically killed all the farm laborers too.
Yeah. How much of that do you think is foreign influence, foreign backed, to destabilize?
Well, of course. The CIA and MI6 are fully behind the EFF as a destabilizing force because it's anti-BRICS.
Yeah.
All the British government can do is destabilize. They've even destabilized England. I lived in England for 5 years, okay? England is not the same as it was 20 years ago. The British have destabilized their own country. That's how mad it is. We, as in every human, are all farmers by proxy. You, by virtue of choosing where your food comes from, have chosen your farmer. And a farmer is either regenerative or destructive. So we can literally eat our way to a better world. How's that for a beautiful, uplifting message, my man?
Angus.
Okay.
Thanks, my buddy.
Germ, you're the best.
Bye.